There's a teachable moment here about glossy reflections and metallic reflections. So I have two materials here. I have a chrome-like material here, and then I have like a porcelain-like material here. Chrome is a metallic reflection. Porcelain is more of like a glossy reflection. The metallic reflection will darken the material as well as brighten the material, meaning it kind of reflects everything in the environment around it. If there's a dark object right next to a metallic reflection, that metal is going to be really dark. A glossy reflection, however, happens on a diffuse material. If a diffuse material has like a gloss, porcelain is like glazed porcelain is a great example. You won't see that darkening of the material. You can see if I go in here and start to paint dark reflections on my porcelain here, it starts to look metallic. Instead, on a material like porcelain, you'll just get the brightening reflections. I'm just doing the highlights essentially here. That's an easy way to differentiate the two. Of course, they would both be affected by Fresnel, be more reflective on the surfaces of the material that are tangent to a line of sight, so around the edges. But big difference is metal would have this darkening reflection as well. And then if you want to get really specific about it, which I think you should strive to, once you've painted your glossy reflection, you should then mask it by the Fresnel of the object. So the more tangent to our line of sight the surface is, the more reflective it would be. Just reduce the intensity of reflections near the center of the object, right? The one sort of exception is that the primary light source tends to stay bright despite it being sort of closer to the center of the object and having less Fresnel. I'll remember to include the diffuse rendering underneath the glossy reflections, because that's the big distinction. Is while the metallic reflection is hyper reflective throughout, a glossy reflection happens over a diffuse rendering, a diffuse reflection. And here you have it versus a more metallic reflection. If it were more correct, you'd see the figures here on the side being reflected onto the sphere, right? But once again, like the point that I'm hoping to make and that I hope you see here is the metallic reflection both darkens and brightens the object. And I hope this to you feels like more of a metallic reflection as well.